Something something good styles are getting thicker by the movie. People who watch my channel may assume a few things about me, namely that I play video games, that I watch anime, and that I like Godzilla, all of which are incorrect, hence why the idea of a Godzilla anime made me roll my eyes. Joking aside, if you've been following me for a while, you know I wasn't exactly excited over Godzilla Singular Point. Best case scenario, I was curious about finally seeing Jet Jaguar again. Luckily for me, the show is more about Jet Jaguar than anybody else, including Godzilla, so I was in for a treat. And when I say I mean... yeah, because I don't think you guys will be turning to watch the Big G getting sidelined in favor of everybody else. If people had trouble with how long it took for him to appear in the 2014 movie and the fact he was always obscured by smoke, then boy oh boy we'll have some trouble here. Not only does it take ages for Godzilla to properly appear in Singular Point, he was demoted here to basically an accessory to the main conflict, a consequence of a much bigger problem. I don't have much issue with the character being only a tangential part of the plot, as it often happens especially during the show era. The main difference is that back then he was still the main threat of the movie, at least in the cases he was a threat. Here he feels more like a mini-boss the heroes have to defeat in order to defuse the really big problem. It's hard to explain this aspect of the show without getting into spoilers, but the best way to put it is that the problem isn't Godzilla as much as his existence, which is a sentence that only makes sense if you watch the show and will remain that way for spoilers' sake. This fact and others like the liberties taken with many of the monsters from the show make it tempting to assume this wasn't originally, at least in a conceptual level, a Godzilla story, that the writer just left many of the most recognizable names of the franchise into it when they were brought into the project. And then there's this monster who looks like Gabara, everyone assumed was Gabara, and guess what? This is not Gabara. No, I'm not sure what's the deal with that either. I mean, why bother creating a new character if there's nothing original about it? It's odd. It goes to show that maybe the writers and artists weren't really on the same page. Because besides the not Gebara, there is a metric ton of visual nods to earlier installments, meaning someone in the production crew was very big on Godzilla and wanted to do a lot of homage to the franchise history. These two clashing approaches result in a product that, at surface level, may seem like it doesn't add much to the series as a whole. There's a difference between trying to look at stuff from a different angle and being different for the sake of being different. In the context of the franchise, Singular Point feels like it doesn't push the envelope as much as it prefers to attempt to drive a crop duster into the atmosphere. It's an odd installment that at times may feel out of place next to the rest of the series. As worth as it is to look into the series with these lenses, it is also unfair. A good show is a good show, despite how it fits in the grand scheme of things. Looking past these incongruities, there's a lot of fun to be found in the densely packed first season of the anime. Sure, a big chunk of the season is long stretches of nothing but exposition, but this is an anime, what else did you expect? This exposition mostly serves to move forward the time travel mystery that is at the core of the story. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a breath of fresh air in the franchise to have a mystery-driven narrative, especially one concerning other universes and stuff. But I know this won't be for everyone's taste, as, again, it seems all the recognizable elements of the franchise serve as accessories to this part of the plot, Godzilla included. It's pretty cool though. I'm inclined to believe all the hype I got from watching the anime was probably from seeing all these familiar elements like Angrus and especially Jet Jaguar back in action, but it can't be just that, otherwise I wouldn't have had so much trouble with Goji feeling as tacked on as he is. No, I think there's some meat over these bones. Not these bones. An entertaining adventure that may often not quite hit the mark, but which undoubtedly left me wanting to see more of it. The familiarity of the monsters is just the icing on the cake. This is honestly the most excited I got with a Godzilla working like, what, 5 years? Hope it keeps going this strong. So yeah, I went into this thinking I would hate the series and have nothing worth talking about, just to come out at the other side with a new favorite LP and a WhatsApp sticker pack for my new waifu. And while we're at it, really guys? What the fuck? Let's see, I've talked about the Godzilla show on Netflix. Yeah, sure, why not?